What's going on, guys? Today I have a review for you, and you may remember my unboxing for these. These are the Knockies KP1, and this is the matte black, or I don't know if they call it matte black on their website, but this is the black version. They got the black and the white. And these are basically a one-to-one copy of AirPods, and they're basically designed to, well, as the name says, they are a knockoff version of AirPods, Knockies. And honestly, for the entire package, presentation, everything is pretty much identical to AirPods. It has a lightning connector on the bottom to charge with, and these actually can charge wirelessly, which is pretty awesome. I tested that out and it does work. It works perfectly well. The one thing I don't like about the design of these is the little stem there. I'm not a fan of it. I don't know, it bothers me in my ear. Now these don't fit in my ears the greatest anyways, which kind of makes sense because they don't have a seal, and I do have some. Okay, so these are just another pair of truly wireless earbuds, but they have the little silicone tip around there, and they provide a good seal on your ear when you put them in. These, they have absolutely no seal. They just go in your ear and that's it. And I don't like that. For one, they don't ever feel sealed on my ear, so I don't ever, or nobody ever, will get the best sound quality out of these just because they don't seal on your ear. Two, I never really liked the feel of the traditional Apple EarPods, I think is what they called them. And it just, I don't know, I just didn't like it. They always felt like they were gonna fall out. I don't really think they ever did. I didn't really use them too much, but I don't think they ever fell out. But they always felt like it, and I don't like that feeling. And then for these in particular, the little stem thing, it always kept just kind of touching my ear right here, and it just felt weird. I didn't like it. And so just in general, this style of headphone, this style of earphone with the stem, it's just, whoop, there I go, dropping truly wireless earbuds again. I do it all the time. But the style with the stem, it's just not for me. Whether it has a seal in the ear or not, it's just not for me. So I guess that's probably something to take into account if you're looking at these. Now, I mentioned this in my unboxing video, and I think it deserves a mention here. These black ones have a matte, rubbery finish to them, and it's really, really nice. I like that because it just, I don't know, I don't like the feel of glossy anything really. I just don't like the feel of it. So with these being a matte texture, a nice little rubbery texture, I like it. I like it a lot, actually. One thing that I can tell you is, or one thing that I was worried about, I should say, when I first opened these, was will this texture peel off after normal everyday use? And so far I can say that I haven't had any issues. That's not to say that I won't, but I haven't so far. Going on to the pairing with an iPhone is actually just like you would pair AirPods. When you pair these with your iPhone, whatever, it comes up the same as it would as a traditional pair of AirPods. That recognizes them as AirPods, and it, for the most part, your device thinks that they are AirPods. And that's to say that if you go to forget them in your settings, it will warn you that it'll forget them across all of your devices on your Apple ID. Now, I will clarify that this does not sync with your Apple ID, so if you pair these with your iPhone and you have an iPad and a MacBook, they will not be paired with your iPad and your MacBook. You will have to pair them separately. So just a warning, so you know that. Another thing that I got to tell you is, now when you do have these all paired up, they do display the battery percentage, of the charging case and of the earbuds, I guess. I don't know what to call them, the AirPods. I don't know. Anyways, it shows the battery level. Now, I had an issue with this because mine never, ever seemed to be accurate. Sometimes my case would say 100%, and then each earbud, one of them would say like 34%, and the other one would say 80-something%. Or the case would say 12%, and both the earbuds would say 191. It was never consistent. And I could actually flip open and flip closed the lid and get different numbers each time. I was getting right around 5 hours of charge on the AirPods, at Knockies KP1. I'm not gonna call them AirPods anymore because they're not AirPods. The KP1s, I'm gonna call them the KP1s. I was getting about 5 hours of battery life without the case, and with the case, I was probably getting pretty close to 25 to 30-ish, right around there. Probably closer to 25 actually. So battery life is definitely good. I really don't have anything to complain about, especially for the price. These guys right now are priced at 70 bucks. There are better battery life ones, but I think 5 is average, so I really wouldn't complain too much about that. Now, getting into the audio quality, not too long ago on Twitter, if you don't follow me on Twitter, please do. But not too long ago on Twitter, I said that I was going to introduce a new way to describe latency in Bluetooth and truly wireless headphones, mostly because, well, I want to have a little fun with it. And honestly, these were the inspiration between me wanting to do that, or for me wanting to do that. Yeah, for me wanting to do that. And the reason is, they are not good with streaming video. I will tell you what my new way of describing latency with these is gonna be, and I am gonna call it the Kung Fu method. Now, if you're not aware, or if you've never seen any old Kung Fu movies, for one, you have to. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is a great one. Please watch it. Please watch any old school Kung Fu movie, and you'll understand exactly what I'm doing here. But we're gonna do this latency thing on a scale of 1 to Kung Fu, where 1 is very, very minimal, almost zero latency, and something you're not really gonna notice. So 1 is that, and then it's gonna go all the way up to Kung Fu. Kung Fu is my Kung Fu. That is Kung Fu. Okay, and these land from 2 all the way to Kung Fu. So they land from 2 all the way to It's not consistent, especially on YouTube. With Netflix, it's not so bad. It kind of stays between like 1.5 and 2, and it just kind of stays there. But these, they range. It's not consistent on YouTube. It's 1 second it'll be a 2, the next second it's not. It's just not. You just can't. You're not gonna watch YouTube with these on your iPhone. Now, I did try these on Android as well, and I was getting a pretty decent amount of latency. It wasn't quite but it wasn't good, and it was across the board on everything: YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, Movies Anywhere, anything that streamed movies, it had that issue on. On the iPhone, really just YouTube, a little bit on Netflix, but on Apple TV, even on videos that I didn't have downloaded, but things that were in my library, so I was streaming them. On Apple TV, I really didn't see anything bad. It wasn't really, there was a little bit of latency, but it's like 1.5 latency, not even 2, and it was very easily watchable. If you watch YouTube a lot, you don't want these. Sorry, but you don't, especially on iPhone. It may annoy you on Android too. Going right into audio quality. These are very bass heavy, very, very bass heavy. So if you are a bass head, I think you will like these. Even without the seal, they're bass heavy. And then the mids and the trebles, they could use a little bit of work. They sounded very muffled to me. So an example would be is if you were listening to my video like this, you can still hear everything that I'm saying, and you probably don't have any issues trying to figure out what I'm trying to say, but it is very muffled and it's not super clear, I guess you could say. So that is how I would explain the audio quality on these. It's not horrible. I've heard worse. I've definitely heard worse. But it's definitely not great. It's doable. It's something that if you listen to podcasts or something on your commute, using these on your commute, I think they would be really, really good. Outside of that, if you're looking for really good audio quality, you want some highs to sparkle, you want some mids to hit you in the gut, you want some bass to blow your head off. These ain't good. Well, the bass maybe. The bass maybe, but the rest of that, it ain't gonna happen. They could use a little more polish in the mid and the high end. As far as what I recommend these, it really depends. If you listen to a lot of music, or if you're really wanting to listen to music on these, as long as your expectations aren't very high as far as sound quality goes, and you just want something that looks identical to AirPods, that acts identical to AirPods as far as opening the case, getting your cool little pop-up window telling you battery life and all that. If you want something like that, but you don't want to spend $150 or whatever it is for AirPods, these are, I think, a very good replacement. Just don't expect ultra high quality sound to come out of these. If you are looking for nice or at least really good sound, and you don't really care too much about the one-to-one AirPod thing, then you might want to look elsewhere. I think there are better options around that $70 price point, or even cheaper. I think you might want to look elsewhere if you're looking for better quality, if you're looking for an iPod clone that actually sounds decent, and you don't watch a lot of YouTube, then these are a good thing for you. Or if you listen to podcasts. Podcasts, I think, would be fantastic with these. So, that being said, that does it for this one, guys. I will see you in the next one. I'm out.